Well, a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Flying Briefing for Tuesday, the 4th of August. Now, what do we got? Well, sort of the fronts never are too far away. We seem to go through very, very good periods of weather, and then shortly afterwards, we start to get more frontal activity. And looking at what we've got at the moment, warm fronts not too far away from the country, and tighter isobars from the west, starting to bring stronger wind. This is going to continue thus for the next couple of days or so, as we see more sort of cold fronts and occlusions coming through into the middle of the week. With the tighter isobars, we will be seeing some strong wind today. We're going to be seeing it generally in the region of about 230 to 210, so southwest to south-southwest, sort of 15 to 20 knots at flying heights. On the ground, sort of probably 10, gusting 15 occasionally this afternoon. That warm front is clearly displayed on a satellite picture where you can see the clouds spilling off from the Irish Sea from the west. And although it's nice and sunny outside, we're probably in one of the best areas at the moment. And but that's only going to last so long before we see thicker top cover approaching from the west. Nothing particularly significant in the way of rain today, though, so not going to see anything nasty like that. But yes, things that are going to be cutting down the sun hitting the ground, no doubt. The infrared showing very similar. It's all linked in together, sort of medium to high level cloud. Nothing particularly low level. The public forecast is showing at the moment we've got west-southwest winds, but that will quickly come round for sort of late morning into the early afternoon to a southwesterly wind, and increasing by afternoon, probably seeing quite easily 15 knots on the ground. It is going to remain, we will see the sun for most of the day though. It might go behind some higher cover at times. But as we go into the next few days, then we start seeing a bit, certainly into Wednesday, might just see a little bit more in the way of cloud and a bit of a stronger wind approaching. But by the end of the week, we start picking up a south to southeasterly flow, which means it's going to get hot again. Not too hot today though, probably looking, as it was saying on the public forecast, at about 18, 19 degrees around Lasham. And dew points touch higher than they were, sort of 10 degrees or so. At the moment, we have a temperature of 16 and a dew point of 6. I expect that will go up as the front approaches. And that was that, a bit out of date. Currently outside, what do we have? We have just bits of sort of alto stratus floating about. Lots of contrails today, commercial aviation definitely about. But yeah, generally nice, good for training, just a little bit tricky on the soaring front. That is shown on our daily predicted flight distance for today. Not particularly too much. Very good if you're in Challock or up towards the Essex clubs. But, well, I guess we've got a little bit more soaring than most areas. So looking at, let's say, 11 o'clock, might not even be particularly soarable here. Need probably a little bit more oomph to get that going. By sort of midday, I mean, I think it may be a bit better than what Top Meteo is suggesting. Sometimes they have class half full days, sometimes class full days. I imagine locally soarable probably by lunchtime, 2,500 feet above Lasham, and then maybe this afternoon might see it go to 3,500 feet, but quite clearly blue, maybe shallow cumulus, but we're going to be under top cover here. So yeah, not ideal. And the sea breeze front maybe later as well. David's looking absolutely pleased about that. So yeah, not a particularly long day, probably by I'd say 4:30 we'll definitely start seeing the impact of the sea breeze front. Better out into Oxfordshire, but when I say better, nothing like the previous days. Weaker climbs as well, as you'd expect, probably only 1 to 2 knots, and under high level clouds, and yeah, not particularly fast cross country speeds today. So usable, soarable, but don't go too far unless you've got an engine probably, or a nice friendly retrieve crew. Odium reporting west to southwesterly winds, and Cav okay for the day, sort of rings true. Couple of soundings predicted. Fairford at 1 o'clock, as you can see. I mean, okay under the up to 3,000 feet. But as you can see, by about 6 to 8 to 10,000 feet, quite a lot of cloud there, and quite blue as well. They're looking at top temperature 19 degrees. And there's my other one failed. Let's try again. Let's go for Buckingham. Buckingham at 1 o'clock, very similar, even more blue, in fact. So blue, not too hot, tricky, and a little bit of a breeze, but good for training and maybe some challenging local soaring. Airspace-wise, Little Rissington active still. I don't know how long they're going to be doing this for, but it seems to be going on forever. Again, their cone of 3 nautical miles up to 3,000 feet, 6 nautical miles 3 to 6, and 9 nautical miles 6 to 9,000 feet. The usual Boscombe danger areas active. Old Sarum active. They are all day, I believe. Yeah, all active up to 15,000 feet. So there's a commercial parachuting organisation there. Marsh Gibbon, number 22, parachuting active all day, just east of Bicester. I don't think too many of you going that far. 24, that's west on the green, parachuting at night, so not a problem. And other than that, 28 and 25, in case a few of you going out on motor gliders. Yeah, Cambridge ATZ and maybe some air displays at Duxford today. I think that's a private affair. Other than that, maybe some, is that parachuting again on the Isle of Wight? That's at Sandown. So again, looking at that all day, looking at that. So nice for that. Okay, thank you for your patience yesterday with jet movements. Appreciate that it got quite busy, but to say, it's good to see them in business. Runway 23 will be in use today. It may look a bit westerly at the moment, but I'm not wanting to change at 11 o'clock, so we'll just accept a bit of crosswind to start with, because it does already have a bit of south in the wind. No jet movements, no Navajos at the moment. Just a fairly normal training day. Just getting K21's tyre wheel fixed, but other than that, it's generally quiet. So I'm not anticipating a grid launch. Please come to the runway if you would like a launch, and we shall see what we get. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow or on the airfield today. Bye for now.